This is The Takeout. Welcome back. Joining me now, CBS News political contributors Joel Payne and Terry Sullivan. Joel, Chief Communications Officer at Move On. Terry served as Marco Rubio's 2016 presidential campaign manager. You and I remember that quite well.
Seems like just a decade ago.
So, Terry, let me start with you. The Secretary of State has that job. He's also the National Security Advisor, the first in American history since Henry Kissinger to carry out both of those jobs. That's huge. He also has a couple of other jobs, the archivist and one other thing. Oh, that's right, Administrator of AID. Thank you, Arden, for telling me that in my ear.
Right.
Thank you very much. Evaluate his role, and do you see him becoming a kind of large power broker within the Trump White House and administration?
I mean, he clearly already is. And Marco is unbelievably talented as a politician in a time when I know that's not necessarily a popular thing, but he's very gifted at being self-aware and knowing how to communicate the message and stay in his lane. And if there's one thing that Donald Trump really appreciates, it's people staying in their lane and not wandering off. He has no patience for it. So, look, I think he's going to continue to thrive.
And there's a legend growing up in Washington that he clashed with Elon, did so aggressively, and that impressed Trump.
That's the legend. I have no information beyond that, but I've heard those rumors.
Would that surprise you if that's true?
No.
That would be consistent with the Marco.
Here's what I know. That if he was going to get in a fight, he'd definitely have a plan to win it. Mm-hmm. So if there was a dust-up, I have no doubt that he did so knowingly.
Republicans sometimes talk to me about what they consider the evolution of Marco Rubio. He was not a fan of Donald Trump in 2016. They clashed over all sorts of things. How would you describe that evolution? Tactical, just going with the flow, or he's actually changed his mind?
Look, I think it's the evolution of the Republican Party. I mean, the Republican Party, I mean, it's been a decade, and the Republican Party is not where it was in 2015 when we were all running. Actually, a large portion of the party was. None of the leaders thought it was and realized it, except for Donald Trump. And so he was ahead of the curve, and I think a lot of the rest of the party is catching up on this, and it's Trump's party. And so, and he's a team player and has always been a team player. I mean, look, this guy started working in politics in his 20s on Bob Dole's campaign in the 90s. Right. So, I mean, he's been around. He gets how to play on the team.
Joel, you've been here before at the table once and at America Decides telling me how wrong-headed Elon Musk was. I'm sure this afternoon you are ready to say Elon Musk is 100% right.
I am ready to say that Elon Musk is making the realization that millions of other Americans are making, is that Donald Trump, you can't take him at his word.
It's like John McCain, Mitt Romney, they love every Republican after they've hated them.
I do think it's interesting, though, that Republicans lauded Elon Musk. What was it? It's, oh, my gosh, he's a technologist, and he's fundamentally ahead of the curve, and we gotta get those people, a visionary. But now that he's talking about fundamentally how this bill is going to be a wealth transfer, well, he's not talking about it being a wealth transfer, but it's how it's going to explode the debt and deficit, which essentially is the thing that he was sent to Washington to do, that he put his entire reputation and his business acumen on the line for. And Donald Trump said, I don't care. I'm going to do what I want to do. Well, and don't let the door hit you on the way out. And I think it's interesting that Elon Musk has met that same fate that so many Republicans, and I bet you Marco Rubio might meet that fate one day as well.
So, Ruben Gallego has been announced. He's going to do some traveling to some early primary and caucus states. He just got elected to the Senate. I sat down with him at the McCain Institute Forum in Sedona, and we had this exchange. I want to play it for you.
I think we have a problem that we look out of touch sometimes. And
out of touch economically, out of touch culturally, I
think of the trifecta, unfortunately. And I think, we need to align, our real base of voters with where we are politically. Because a lot of times we're really trying to answer to the most extreme version of our party versus where your normal Democrat is. Your normal Democrat is someone that believes in safe streets, safe schools, and a secure border.
Joel, normal Democrat. Does he look like someone who could be an emerging force?
He's vying for the normal Democrat lane for the future of the party, maybe 2028. Yeah, sure. Look, I actually think what he's talking about there is this evolving thing that I'm seeing, which is Democrats have lost the economic battle on culture. Right. The policy, I got to be honest with you, and Terry and I could disagree with this. I think the policy remedies that Democrats get behind generally do support working Americans, should be an agenda that people respond well to. We can argue about that. But what we can't argue about is that Democrats have not packaged it and not packaged themselves as the type of political party that culturally connects with folks. And I do think that's what Senator Gallego was talking about. And I think that's a fair point. That's a fair critique of the party.
Terry, packaging?
Yeah, well, look, though.
Do you agree? Or do you think it's more deeper than that?
I think it's deeper, but I do think packaging is a big component to it. Like we agree.
As a packager yourself.
Yeah, well, exactly. I mean, look, I do as a professional packager. Well, look, this is a party that has led with its chin on some really, really dumb causes that nobody in America cared about until they were on the wrong side of, like transgender bathrooms. And so
I got a quarrel with that. I'm sorry. Wait a minute. We do not do the talking about transgender bathrooms lately. Republicans seem obsessed with where you go to the bathroom, who you compete in sports against.
Where I want my kids to go to the bathroom is with people.
But they are the ones who are obsessed with that. You're not seeing folks like Ruben Gallego. You're not seeing Democrats spend all their time and their political capital talk about that. I mean, we're on the wrong side of the issue politically right now. I get it, but that's a misnomer.
All your time. I'm saying leading with your chin on this, and that's literally my point, which is
I have to intervene because of the ravages of time and the compression of internet television. It is.
We didn't package it tight enough.
No, we have to work on our package.
Yeah.
Terry Sullivan, Joel Payne, thank you very much.
Thank you.